My name's Kayla, this is Cinnamon, Peaches, and Sage, and today we're going to be talking about the new mythical Pokemon, PECHARUNT. We're going to be looking at what it was doing throughout the story of SV, as well as why it was doing those things. First thing to understand about PECHARUNT is that its goal is control. It uses purple mochi infused with its power in order to possess people. In doing so, it's able to control people's actions and even make them battle for it. Another way that PECHARUNT gets control is by using the toxic chains. We see that the toxic chains turn Pokemon into forms that are more in line with how they want to be. Okidogi is now strong, Pheasantipity is now beautiful, and Munkidori is now wise. PECHARUNT having these two methods of control helps explain a lot of the events that happen throughout all parts of the DLC. For example, in the Teal mask, one of the signboards doesn't seem like it's about Ogrepon. It says, if you see a shadowy figure approaching you outside the village at twilight, be wary. Don a mask at once and hide your face. Do so, and whether the shadow is man or monster, you will pass each other by as fellow mask wearers. If you should meet the shadow when you have no mask in hand, then pray that it is only a man. If it is, you will live to see another day, and you will remember to never forget your mask again. But if it is the ogre, you will meet your end, as do all humans whose faces are seen by it. Once it sees your face, your soul will be forfeit, and you shall never return to the village. When we're playing the Teal mask, it seems like this sign is about Ogrepon, but when we think about it a little bit more in the context of the epilogue, this shadowy figure must be PECHARUNT. First of all, PECHARUNT is a ghost, so it is a shadowy figure, and it's also frequently surrounded by purple shadows. Second of all, it says that you should fear whether it is man or monster. We know that PECHARUNT is able to control people, so it doesn't matter if it's a man or a monster. Either way, you could be put into a dangerous situation where it may try to feed you mochi. Like we see this with the grandmother in the epilogue. She comes with a plate of mochi and feeds the grandfather. But wearing a mask would prevent anyone from putting mochi in your mouth. The tale says that if you don't wear a mask, aka you end up eating the mochi, your soul will be forfeit. In fact, the characters in the epilogue don't even remember what happened to them when they were under PECHARUNT's control. And I know some of you might be thinking, Kayla, we already know PECHARUNT's story, and what you're saying contradicts that. PECHARUNT doesn't want control, PECHARUNT wants a loving family. Well, yeah, PECHARUNT wants to control a loving family. One thing to keep in mind in order to understand this is that the untold tale of PECHARUNT is from PECHARUNT's perspective. It's told in third-person limited point of view, with the thoughts being expressed limited to PECHARUNT. For example, PECHARUNT doesn't fully understand why the old couple wants masks, but we, having played Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, understand that masks could be used to block mochi. Considering one of the other things the old couple wanted was the mythical Pechaberry, which is almost impossible to get, it seems like they were trying to keep PECHARUNT away from them, not being greedy. This explanation is more consistent with what we see from the Loyal 3, the signboard, and Mochi Mayhem. It also fits well with the description of PECHARUNT crying to get what it wants. It's doing that exact same thing when it tells the story. Basically, PECHARUNT is an unreliable narrator, so we have to take what it says with a grain of salt. And then, of course, there's Kieran. As I explained in a previous video breaking down Kieran's character, he desires power. Why does Kieran desire power? Well, his parents aren't in the picture anymore, so he really only has his sister. He doesn't have a lot of control in his life. It makes sense that PECHARUNT would find commonality with Kieran at this point. In fact, the player character even has a conversation with Kieran at Peachy's stand. After this conversation, Kieran and the player character go to the final signboard, and we get a close-up of Kieran's fist. This is foreshadowing for Kieran punching the monument and awakening the Loyal 3 with his fist. When that happens, a purple shadow surrounds Kieran's fist. Now, some people think that the purple shadow comes from the monument, but this doesn't entirely make sense considering the focus on Kieran's fist from earlier. Additionally, the Loyal 3 at this point are very much dead, and also PECHARUNT is the puppeteer. So this purple shadow that gives these Pokemon new life must come from our new poison ghost mythical Pokemon, PECHARUNT. PECHARUNT's goal is obviously to get to the monument of the Loyal 3 and revive them through Kieran. And PECHARUNT succeeds. It is able to go into that monument and revive its 3 supporting Pokemon. After this point, Kieran is technically no longer influenced by PECHARUNT in any way. But similar to the Loyal 3, this experience has altered him going forward. Also like the Loyal 3, it takes the help of the player character to get him to turn his life back around. Okay, that makes sense, but it still doesn't answer the bigger question of why PECHARUNT wanted control in the first place. While we don't have a confirmed answer for this, I do have a theory. In Medalley, next to the poster of the Loyal 3, we have this poster showing golden fruit. Some people have said that this poster relates to Ogrepon, but Ogrepon doesn't have a yellow form. Not only does PECHARUNT have a yellow form and it's shiny, but it also separates into 3 pieces, like this artwork. I personally think this poster is a reference to PECHARUNT, especially considering it's right next to the Loyal 3's poster in Medalley. But how exactly does that help us theorize about PECHARUNT's backstory? Well, in the back of the poster, we see this double-tiered mountain. We see the same double-tiered mountain on a scroll outside of certain restaurants. Except on this version of it, there is a tidal wave with, if you zoom in and look really carefully, a turtle in the waves. A turtle, you say? Wonder if there have been any important turtle Pokemon lately. Oh yeah, I think that this double-tiered mountain is the double-tiered mountain from Glaciado, and that both of these artworks are meant to represent things from Area 0. We know that Terapagos lives at the bottom of Area 0. Is it possible that PECHARUNT is from the exact same place? Well, when we are deep in the depths of Area 0, we do see a certain crystallized tree. In fact, if you look very carefully at this crystallized tree, sections of it will look a little bit purple. Seems like a kind of odd detail considering that's not exactly the same color as the rest of the Underdepths. Not to mention that Heath says in his book that mysterious stones or fruits are located in Area 0. Heath even includes a picture of this fruit on the side, and it looks suspiciously like the shiny PECHARUNT poster. Not only that, but peaches have stone pits inside them, and PECHARUNT is based on a peach. Could this tree be where PECHARUNT is originally from? And could Terapagos have made it so that this tree no longer bears fruit? If this is true, it does a lot to explain PECHARUNT's motivations. Why does PECHARUNT want control? Well, it had all the things it could control in its life taken away from it when its tree was crystallized. So PECHARUNT traveled to a new region, made a new family, and made sure they would never leave.
Whether you like it or not.
Let me know what you think about these ideas in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and join our Discord Capsule Monsters where we talk about Pokemon theories. I hope you have a great day or night, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!